everybody. Thank you for coming. So it's been cold outside and we haven't been riding for a while. So I thought we would start this presentation with some guided imagery. I want everybody to close your eyes and imagine that first ride of the season. You plan your ride all winter. You're very excited. All of your friends can make it. The weather is perfect. You're watching the scenery go by. The sky is blue. You're hearing the birds chirping. You're feeling the rumble of the engine between your legs, and you're just having a great time. You're very excited. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
You've just been involved in a motorcycle accident. You hit a patch of gravel, an animal ran in front of you, you're traveling about 45 miles an hour, and fortunately you were wearing your helmet today. You chose to wear your helmet today and your head remained intact. Unfortunately, your fellow rider behind you was not. The purpose of my presentation today is to urge each of you to support mandatory helmet use by always wearing your helmet, by setting that example for your family and your friends, and making that choice to protect yourself each and every time you ride. There's no secret that motorcycle riding is fun, but it's also dangerous, just given its nature of there's no protection around you. So if we all know this, and you all know this, why is it that some bikers choose not to wear their helmet or choose not to support mandatory helmet laws? Well, I think one of the reasons why is that in the state of Illinois, according to the Illinois Department of Transportation, Illinois is one of 3 states in the nation that doesn't have mandatory helmet laws. 23 states have partial laws, so they're on the right track, but those partial laws only mean that they require helmeted riders, helmets to be worn by riders under the age of 18. Okay? The remaining states that have instituted mandatory helmet laws saw a 39% reduction in fatalities in the first year of its implementation. There are bikers' rights associations out there that feel that mandatory helmet laws violate the freedom of riding or their freedom to choose. But I don't think that that's any different than the mandatory seatbelt law that's out there for people when you drive. All 50 states have a seatbelt law. So all 50 states should have a mandatory helmet law to keep us safe. Some people complain that helmets are uncomfortable. They're hot. Well, in my mind, if you're uncomfortable with something, buy something that is comfortable. We all get saddle sore when we're on our bikes for a long time. Do we take the seat off and ride our bike with no seat? No, we get a seat that works for us, that's comfortable. We should get a helmet that works for us and that's comfortable. According to the Snell Memorial Foundation, the helmets will be aerodynamic and comfortable if they're fitted properly. Okay? I feel that not wearing a helmet is like playing Russian roulette with your life. Death of a rider can be devastating for your family and devastating for your friends, but I want you to think about the unhelmeted riders that survive. There's costs involved with that. According to the Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety, the economic burden of injuries and death from motorcycle crashes is about $12 billion annually. And the hospital cost for helmeted or unhelmeted riders that suffer traumatic brain injury is 13 times higher than that of a helmeted rider. Okay, and that's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. According to the Illinois Department of Transportation, there were 142 fatal motorcycle crashes resulting in the death of 145 people. Of that 145 people, only 8 of them were wearing their helmets. And nationally, there were 4,612 motorcycle fatalities in 2011, according to the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, and of those, only 22% were wearing their helmets. It's no secret that helmets save lives. My father was involved in a motorcycle accident a few years ago. He was only traveling about 20 miles an hour. He hit a patch of gravel, lost control, and was ejected from his bike. His helmet had a gouge in the side of it that would have been his head. He suffered a broken leg, he recovered completely, and he's riding today. But I thank his helmet for that. Had he not been wearing that helmet, that gouge would have been his head. So what do helmets protect us from? Death, obviously, and the traumatic brain injury that results from hitting your head on the ground. According to the Mayo Clinic, traumatic brain injury is the result of a traumatic blow or jolt to the head, and it can have varying degrees of impact, from mild concussions to irreparable damage and coma. So I want you to imagine yourself as a victim of an accident. You didn't wear your helmet, you suffered a traumatic brain injury, and you are now fully dependent on your family for all of your care. You have no control of your bowels, you can't control your bladder, you have no control of your limbs. I'm sure that's not how any of us want to end up. When I dropped this egg from 3 feet off the ground, it traveled at approximately 20 miles per hour, and it struck the ground with an impact force of about 6.5 pounds. A 160-pound person traveling at 55 miles an hour, if they strike their head on the ground, strikes it at an impact force of about 1.8 tons. It's a huge number. According to the Snell Memorial Foundation, DOT helmets are designed to disperse impact forces up to a velocity of 67 miles per hour. And helmets reduce the risk of head injury by 67%, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Our motorcycles aren't equipped with airbags or seatbelts, and Illinois is one of 3 states that doesn't have helmet laws. So I cannot ask you to wear a helmet all the time because it's the law, not like you have to ride sober because it's a law not to drink and drive. Your only protection lies in the choices you make, okay? From what gear to wear and when to ride. So in conclusion, I'm asking you to please choose to protect yourselves by the simple act of putting on your helmet every time you ride. Set that example for your family and for your friends, because you can influence people by your actions. So if you wear your helmet, your friends are more likely to. Wear your helmets because accidents are unpredictable and uncontrollable. Nobody leaves the house with the intention of getting into an accident. We never know when it's going to happen, and it can happen at any time. Helmets are scientifically proven to reduce your risk of serious head injury in a crash. And I want you to think about this. So you order a $50 DVD player. The DVD player comes packaged in styrofoam and bubble wrap. Isn't your head worth more than a $50 DVD player?
Yes.
Why do some people go out and not wear a helmet? It makes no sense. You're a valuable human being with so much to give and so much to offer. You've spent your life learning. You've spent money on your education. Doesn't it make sense to protect your investment? Put a helmet each and every time you ride. Thank you for listening.